Hey guys, Ollie here from Local Knowledge, and I've got my brand new 39 Contender here. And one of the first things I do whenever I set up a new boat for myself or other people is I really like to have my fender game tight and have everything ready to go in a position for everything. So today what I'm going to show you how to do is rig a fender. This is something I've been doing for years. It's all basic stuff you get from Home Depot. One of the reasons I'm so adamant about these things is in San Diego, pretty much every morning starts with a trip to the bait dock. And the bait dock is really low to the water. So you need to have your fenders properly adjusted or you're gonna get black streaks or even catch a nail in your gel coat. Plus, we use these every day at the dock as well. This is a setup I've been doing for years. It really doesn't take much. You get pretty much everything you need at Home Depot. Piece of 1-inch PVC, PVC cap. This is a fender whip. Get them on Amazon, they're really cheap. I run the whip through and put a fender washer here as a stopper, stainless steel fender washer, and just tie a couple knots. That's the rig, but let me show you the steps. So it's really a basic set of tools you're gonna need. The old blue tape, torch, screwdriver, just open the acetone, PVC cutter, pair of Bubba scissors, and the handy dandy drill. First thing you're gonna do, grab your rope. This one's already finished on the end, so it'll feed through the bumper really well. You always want to have your little inflation port on the top side of the bumper. That way it won't get clogged up with corrosion and growth if it's touching the water, if you have it in the wrong rod holder. So after this is through, just take your fender washer, drop it on there, and I just do overhand knot, but I wrap it twice to give a big bulky profile, and that'll stop your fender washer for you. Try and get it down here as close as you can to the end because you don't want to have this stuff sitting in the water. It just attracts growth, gets nasty, you pull it in the boat, you're gonna get crap everywhere. So that's on there. I got my fender washer here, and now it's basically rigged. And if you're a guy that likes to hang them off your cleats or whatever, this is a fender whip, it's got a loop, you could totally do that. I don't like that because I fish with a lot of different people and I just like to make it automatic and easy for them to put the bumpers out when we're coming into the harbor. So what I do is after I've got that thing run through, you can see the rope is served into itself. I'm just gonna wrap this with a little bit of tape and wrap it kind of tight, and you'll see why. You want to kind of compress the rope down a little bit so it'll fit through the smallest hole possible when we put it through the cap. And anytime you're gonna cut line like this, always tape it. It just makes it so much easier. It cuts down on the mess. Take your scissors, go ahead and just cut through the rope. If you're using heavier rope, you might even need a razor, but this works great here. Okay, now I don't need to burn this or do anything yet, and I'll show you why. So, once I've got this thing run through, I can kind of set this dude aside for a second. Now, I'm gonna drill out my cap, so I got something for that line to go through. And trusty Home Depot bucket here, just put this on, get your drill, try and center it best you can. Be careful, this thing will buck back a little bit right there when it goes through. Now my bit is a little small, so I'm just gonna hog this out. Now you're catching all that plastic in the bucket so it's not getting in the water here. I'm gonna pull this cap off and I'm gonna feed the rope through. Now that you got your cap drilled, the next thing I wanna do is make these all uniform height. So I like to have like 4 to 6 inches protruding out of the rod holder. And on that one I did 4, so I'm just gonna measure it off. I've got the marking on the pipe here. And I'm gonna grab my PVC cutter. About there. Okay, just check the fit real quick. Good to go. Now, with the cap off, I'm gonna thread the line through it. Then I'm gonna go to the rod holder that I'm gonna put this in. So when you're figuring out where to position your fenders, you really only need them on about the back half of the boat. because your bow is going to taper in and it won't even contact the dock. So I like to do 3 on a boat this size. This is 39 feet. And you want this to almost touch the water, probably keeping it like 2 inches above the water. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of positioning it and seeing about where that'll end up. Maybe down another inch or so. That looks pretty good to me. And I'm also leaving it a little bit higher, maybe 3 inches, because I know I'm going to put a bunch of stuff in this boat and make it heavier. So I just kind of mark where the rope was. Right, and I'm going to tie a knot, and I want obviously the knot to end up right where my fingers are at, flush against them. Okay, now I've got it, kind of a test version. You can just feed all this rope down into the PVC, push the cap on, not too hard because it can be hard to get off. Right, look down, I'm about 3 inches off the water, right about where I wanted to land, so I'm good there. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, and now that I feel good about where I've got it, I'm going to tie another knot just to kind of give me an insurance plan. And because I've only got a little bit of slack, I like to leave some. It's going to hide in the pipe anyway. And if I ever have to adjust it or I move it to another boat or whatever, I can just take my knots out and kind of adjust the length, do whatever I need to do. So now with the tape still on, and I would do this over a bucket as well. Anybody who's ever burned a rope and got that rope on their skin knows it is hotter than lava. It hurts like you know what. And I'm just gonna start burning the end here. And you don't wanna burn it too much. You kind of wanna slowly melt it so that it all becomes like one uniform gooey end. And that'll seal the edges of the rope and the thread. See how it's starting to get shiny? And this is with any rope you're gonna terminate. And now it's kind of a shiny ball, strong and melted into one piece. I'm gonna gently pull this away. Again, try not to get the molten lava on my hand. Then you take it back over. Let's see, we were in this holder here. Gonna drop it in. Put the knots inside the pipe at first. Push the cap down. And you're good to go. Now there's only one step left to do, and that's where the acetone comes in. You got all this ugly barcode and writing on pipe. You know, we just bought this at Home Depot. It's nothing special. I'm just gonna take microfiber rag, regular old acetone. Go working over the bucket because acetone is not good for plastic, and we've got plastic lids on all this stuff. Fine on fiberglass. Okay, got my acetone, and this stuff is like magic eraser for this print. It just wipes it right off. I mean, gone. There you have it. You got the part that goes in the rod holder, you got your fender, everything's really secure. Super simple rig. It's just one of those things I think once you see it done, you're gonna wanna do it too. I've been doing this for years, numerous boats. It works really, really well. So we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and leave us a comment. It's your comments that shape these videos. You guys always come up with some good ideas, and we'll be happy to help you out some more. Thanks so much for watching.